Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 2.2, the first video of the year. This video is entitled Columbus Crosses the Atlantic. This video is going to cover pages 37 to 41. Columbus crosses the Atlantic. Born in Genoa, Italy in 1451, Christopher Columbus became a sailor for Portugal. He traveled as far north as the Arctic Circle and as far south as Africa's Gold Coast. To reach Asia, Christopher Columbus had a different route in mind than the one used by his Portuguese comrades. He planned to sail west. In the 1400s, most educated people believed the world was round. People were less certain about the Earth's size. Columbus was among those who based their estimates on the works of Ptolemy, an ancient Greek astronomer. Columbus believed Asia was about 2,600 miles from Portugal, a voyage of about 2 months by ship. However, Ptolemy had underestimated Earth's size, and by using Ptolemy's estimate, Columbus did too. And here we see a map of what Ptolemy thought was the size of the world. And now we can answer a couple of questions on the worksheet. Question number 1, what plan did Christopher Columbus have for sailing to Asia that set him apart from the other sailors at the time? He wanted to sail west. Question number 2, what did most educated people correctly believe about the world in the 1400s? That the world was round. Question number 3, what did most educated people incorrectly believe about the world in the 1400s? They incorrectly guessed the size. Earth was much bigger than they had thought. Vikings in North America. Several centuries before the voyages of Da Gama, Cabral, and Columbus, northern Europeans had sailed to North America. Known as Vikings, or Norsemen, they sailed ships from present-day Scandinavia to Iceland and Greenland in the AD 800s and 900s and established settlements there for a brief period of time. According to Norse sagas, or traditional stories, a Viking sailor named Leif Erikson explored lands west of Greenland in about the year 1000. The sagas referred to this land as Vinland. Ruins from around that period exist in northeastern Canada, which could support the sagas. The Vikings' voyages were not well known throughout Europe, however. Other Europeans did not discover the Americas until Columbus made his historic voyage. And now we can answer a couple questions. Which group of Europeans had actually reached North America centuries before Columbus's journeys? The Vikings. Columbus and Queen Isabella. Columbus had a plan for reaching Asia, but he still needed money to finance his expedition. He visited European monarchs looking for support. Finally, he found a sponsor in Spain. For most of the 1400s, Spanish monarchs devoted or committed their energy to driving the Muslims out of Spain. Muslims had invaded Spain in the 700s, but their power had been declining for centuries. The last Muslim kingdom in Spain fell in 1492. This freed Spain's monarchs to focus on other goals. The Spanish observed the seafaring and trading successes of neighboring Portugal with envy. They too wanted the riches of Asian trade. So now we can go to question 5. Before Columbus could set sail and try his ideas, what did he desperately need? Well, like many business people, he needed money. Question 6. Why was Spain eager to get more involved in seafaring explorations and trading in 1492? Because they were watching their neighbor Portugal, and they were greedy and jealous of what Portugal was getting, and that is all that trade in Asia, and they wanted a piece of the action too. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain, pictured here on the right, agreed to support Columbus's expedition for 2 reasons. One reason was that Columbus promised to bring Christianity to any land he found. As a devout Catholic, this was important to Isabella. Another reason was that if he succeeded in finding a route to Asia, Spain would become wealthy from trade with that region. Queen Isabella promised Columbus a share of any riches gained from lands he discovered on his way to Asia. Question number 7. What were the 3 G's that led King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain to agree to support Christopher Columbus's expedition? Well, as the slide shows, the 3 G's were God, gold, and glory. These were the things that drove this partnership that Spain had with Columbus. Columbus's first voyage. On August 3rd, 1492, Columbus set sail from Palos, Spain. He had two small ships, the Nina and the Pinta, and a larger one, the Santa Maria. Columbus was captain of the Santa Maria, his lead ship, or flagship. The three ships carried about 90 sailors and a 6-month supply of food and water. The small fleet stopped at the Canary Islands off the coast of West Africa for repairs and supplies. Columbus then began the difficult voyage westward across unknown and mysterious stretches of the Atlantic Ocean. After a few weeks at sea, the sailors grew nervous about the distance they had traveled. Columbus refused to alter his course. Instead, he encouraged the crew by describing the riches he believed they would find. He urged them on, saying that, quote, with the help of our Lord, they would arrive in the Indies. On October 12, 1492, at 2 o'clock in the morning, a lookout shouted, "Tierra, tierra!" Land, land. He had spotted a small island in the chain now called the Bahamas. Columbus went ashore, claimed the island for Spain, and named it San Salvador. Although he did not know it, Columbus had reached the Americas. Columbus believed he had arrived in the East Indies, the islands off the coast of Asia. This is why today we call the Caribbean islands the West Indies. It also explains why Columbus called the local people Indians. He noted that the natives regarded the Europeans with wonder and often touched the crew members to find out, quote, if they were flesh and bones like themselves. When Columbus returned to Spain, Queen Isabella and the Spanish King Ferdinand received him with great honor. They made him Admiral of the Ocean Sea and agreed to provide funds for his future voyages. Question number 8. What year did Columbus begin his first voyage? Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. The answer is 1492. Question 9. What were the names of the three ships? The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Question 10. Why were some sailors aboard the first voyage of Columbus starting to get nervous? Well, they had not been out that long of a distance, and they were starting to get nervous. They were starting to get anxious. They were starting to wonder, did we make a mistake following this guy named Columbus? Why are we sailing west? But he told them, you need to hold on. You need to have faith. Question number 11. What did Columbus find on October 12, 1492? He finally found land in what we would now call the Bahamas. Question 12. What did Columbus believe he had found when he landed? He felt he had actually made it to the West Indies. He was wrong. Question 13. What did Ferdinand and Isabella think about the first voyage of Columbus? They were ecstatic. They were so happy. They were so proud. Good job, Columbus. And they're like, here's more money. Go do that again. They were very pleased at what Columbus had done. Columbus's achievements. Columbus made 3 more voyages for Spain in 1493, 1498, and 1502, and you can see on the map to the right the different voyages that he took. He explored the Caribbean islands of Hispaniola, present-day Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, Cuba, and Jamaica. He also sailed along the coast of Central America and northern South America. He claimed these lands for Spain and started settlements. He also mapped the coastline of Central America. Columbus had not reached Asia, but instead had found a part of the world that was unknown to Europeans, Asians, and Africans. In the years that followed, the Spanish went on to explore most of the Caribbean and to establish the Spanish Empire in the Americas. So question 14, what achievements did Columbus accomplish for the Spanish? Well, he was able to map out a lot of the New World, if you will. He was sailing along the coast of Central and South America. He claimed all that land for Spain. They were able to start settlements there. He improved their maps, and he let them know that there was a new world out there, lands to be settled, lands to have resources taken from them, and that is what Columbus did for Spain. Dividing the Americas. Both Spain and Portugal wanted to protect their claims in the Americas. They turned to Pope Alexander VI for help. In 1493, he ordered a line of demarcation, an imaginary line that reached from the North Pole to the South Pole and cut through the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Spain was to control all lands west of the line, and Portugal would control all lands east of the line. Portugal objected, saying that the division gave more land to Spain. In 1494, the two countries signed an agreement called the Treaty of Tordesillas, which moved the line farther west. The two countries had divided the entire unexplored world between themselves. Question 15. How did Pope Alexander VI and the Treaty of Tordesillas, how did those keep the peace between the Spanish and the Portuguese? Well, they were going to fight over who was able to have what lands controlled, and so this was a peaceful way to get these two countries to agree to not go to war, to say, okay, you have this and I'll take this. They were kind of dividing the pie, if you will, of the new world into two powers, Spain and Portugal. Further explorations. After Columbus, other voyagers explored the Americas. In 1499, Italian Amerigo Vespucci led a voyage funded by Spain. On this and a later journey for Portugal, he explored the coast of South America. Vespucci realized South America was a separate continent and not part of Asia. European geographers began to call the continent America in his honor. So now we can answer question 16. Why is Amerigo Vespucci an important, influential figure in American history? Well, we are named after Amerigo. Amerigo, America. A Spaniard, Vasco Núñez de Balboa, heard stories of the great waters beyond the mountains of Panama in Central America. He hiked through steamy rainforests to find them. At the coast in 1513, Balboa saw a vast body of water which he claimed for Spain, along with the adjoining lands. Balboa was the first European to see the Pacific Ocean from the Americas. Question number 17. The Spanish explorer Vasco Balboa claimed what ocean for Spain? It was the Pacific Ocean, the biggest ocean in the world. Sailing around the world. In 1520, Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer who was sailing for Spain, reached the southernmost tip of South America. He sailed through the stormy waters of a narrow sea passage or strait. The strait led him to a calm ocean, the same one Balboa had seen. The waters were so peaceful, Pacifico in Spanish, that Magellan named the ocean the Pacific Ocean. Magellan died in the Philippine Islands, but his crew continued to sail westward, arriving back in Spain in 1522. Magellan's crew were the first people known to circumnavigate or sail around the world. And the final question on this worksheet, what major accomplishment was the crew of Ferdinand Magellan able to accomplish in 1522? They were able to circumnavigate or sail around the world, once again proving that the world was indeed round. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Before we go, I like to end my videos with a joke or meme. So here we go. Guy who said the joke, but louder. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.